Take a moment to consider your height, your weight, and the physical boundaries of your skin. These measurements feel like permanent, independent facts, but in a void, those boundaries lose their meaning. We experience ourselves as solid objects moving through a container of empty space. Yet fundamental physics shows that matter cannot maintain a defined state in isolation. Physical existence is a byproduct of constant microscopic impacts. A single photon of light illustrates the point. In a total vacuum, isolated from every other particle, that photon lacks a fixed location. It exists only as a vibrating cloud of mathematical probability. The carbon and oxygen atoms making up your organs follow these same rules. When they aren't interacting with a surrounding field or another particle, their physical properties become undefined. This version of yourself, the one that feels like a stable, continuous object, depends on relentless friction. You materialize as a physical entity only when your atoms are actively colliding with the world around you. Physicist Carlo Rovelli explores this in his theory of relational quantum mechanics. He suggests the universe is a froth of events, rather than a collection of independent things. Properties like color or mass manifest at the exact moment of impact. A photon has no inherent color until it strikes a retina, sparking into a specific frequency only during that interaction. In this context, an observer isn't limited to a conscious mind. A rock hitting a puddle or an electron striking a wire both count as observations. Every physical interaction generates information. This means reality is assembled piece by piece through a web of local, microscopic collisions. There is no single, objective universe that exists when no one is looking. Physical reality is a subjective state, relative to whichever observer is doing the colliding. This subjective model creates a crisis for classical physics. Albert Einstein spent his life searching for deterministic laws to govern the universe regardless of observers. String theory offers an alternative, a mathematical framework for an objective reality. It replaces point-like particles with tiny, vibrating filaments. These strings vibrate across 10 or 11 dimensions. Their frequencies dictate the universe's nature, providing a rigid architecture that exists regardless of interaction. Modern physicists like Brian Greene seek elegant equations to describe this order. They want a God equation that removes all subjective ambiguity from the cosmos. This leaves two incompatible visions of the universe. One requires a perfect mathematical order. The other describes a chaotic web of relative interactions. Our most advanced theories are currently at war. The stakes, whether you exist as an independent, objective entity or just a fleeting relational event. Neuroscience suggests our daily experience is a filter. The human brain works to simplify the underlying quantum chaos into something we can navigate. The projective consciousness model explains that the brain maintains a preconceived mental image of the world. It updates this internal map only when incoming sensory data forces a change. Your nervous system absorbs millions of disjointed quantum collisions and stitches them into a seamless experience. We perceive continuous time and a stable identity because the brain hides the gaps. Stephen Hawking noted that toward the end of his life, his view of physics began to mirror biology. We evolved to interpret quantum probabilities as solid facts because that interpretation ensured our survival. Your identity is a fragile correlation of events. You are a confirmed hallucination that dissolves back into the void the moment your interactions with the world cease.